Welcome to the Autosport preview for this year's Rally Finland. And with David Evans, the rallies editor at Autosport. David, we are at possibly one of the most iconic junctions on Rally Finland. Tell us where we are first.
We're at the Kakaristo junction of the Oinopoja stage, Colin. Both quite unpronounceable, but we've managed it. And yeah, you're right. It's an iconic junction.
A lot of action and a lot of history in this junction. Tell us about this stretch of road behind us. It's not the easiest stretch, this bit coming into this junction.
It's not. This is one of the most famous parts of the stage. We come off the really fast. You can see the road here is a little bit wider. And this year we come in, it's a hairpin right here onto the narrow road, the older bit of road down there. Just down here there's a left-hander that caught Craig Breen out in 2012. But for me, more famously in, I think, 2007, that's where Hirvonen balanced the car. Remember, right on the sill, right near
the year that he won the rally, didn't he? He was in the Focus WRC.
Grunwald won the rally, but that was the year that ended it for Marcus, because he came to the end of the stage and spoke to you and said, "I've got no more. That's all I can give." And he was afraid. He was a little bit scared of what he'd just done. Hirvonen came to the end of the same stage, having put it almost in a ditch there, flat out, without lifting, came to the end of the stage and said to you, "I want to go again." I loved it. He loved it. And that was the turning point, I think, for Grunwald. So that's what there is so much history here. And that bit of road just there is phenomenal. But this junction here is hairpin right, down to the finish, away down there. I don't like that bit of road. It's much narrower, tighter, twister, but that's where we are.
Well, let's talk then about the history that we might see made this week at Rally Finland. The first, obviously, time we've been here in these new generation World Rally cars. David, what do you reckon? We've got a fantastic fight at the top of the championship. Ogier looks very calm, very relaxed, very much contained within himself. The man on the mission, though, is Thierry Neuville. You know, at the start of the year, I'd have said that Ogier would be favourite for an awful lot of the events. I don't think he starts as favourite necessarily for this one.
I think he starts as favourite at every round. Absolutely. You know, he's just got so much ability, so much speed. He knows the car well. Okay, he had that big crash in the test, but he feels comfortable with the car now. That's for sure. You know, we've seen a change in him in the last couple of events, that he's really got the feeling with the Fiesta. But like you say, Neuville, you can't look past him, and he has a great record here. You know, last few years not so good, but go back to his second time here, he was second, and he was, you know, come to a place like this that you traditionally you can't come here and be quick. He came here and he was quick on his second time. So for sure. And like you say, you know, these new cars, they are going to be sensational. They're going to be quicker. You know, we've seen some chicanes on the route. They've put the chicanes in just to take some of the speed out of the cars and stuff. But without those chicanes, for sure, this would be the fastest round of the World Rally Championship ever.
So I don't think, David, we're talking about our top two in the championship, possibly our top two here. Ogier, maybe Thierry Neuville. We cannot, though, write off Jari-Matti Latvala. He's shown some remarkably good form this year. It's been the most consistent season he has ever had. He's never had a start to a year like this. Okay, he had a problem on the last event, nothing to do with him. He was going well at the time. What's interesting is that Toyota at times looks bang on the pace. At other times in the same rally, on different stages, it's a mile off the pace. It needs to find a consistent high speed in this rally. Is Latvala a potential winner here?
Absolutely, without a doubt. Don't forget, Colin, that car was created, it was crafted about 60 kilometres up the road. They've tested so much on these roads. You know, Jari-Matti's always said, wait till we get to the quick stuff. We saw some great speed in Poland. We will see some phenomenal speed from Jari-Matti here on his home stages. We spoke to him yesterday at length. I have never seen the guy look as calm, as collected, as relaxed. You know, ordinarily, last few years, he's been wound up, he's been ready. He's been the only Finn coming to his home round for a fight. This year, we've got Lappi, we've got Teemu Sunninen, we've got Finns around us that are taking a little bit of the pressure, a little bit of the media awareness away from Jari-Matti. And that's helped him, you know. And for me, he's looking better, looking stronger, a better bet than ever for him.
If they find some reliability in that Toyota, we could be looking at Lappi. Remember, Lappi had that unbelievable event in Sardinia. Very different. It was a slower event. He won, what, 6 stages. Yeah. Lappi could be potentially a bet for certainly a podium place. I wouldn't write off Hänninen either. We know Hänninen can go remarkably quickly. If he has a good run through the stages, doesn't make any mistakes this weekend, he's another one that could challenge for a podium. So Toyota could be strong this weekend, but we have to talk as a car comes in the opposite direction, going the wrong way. Remember, we are, by the way, we are right in the middle of this junction, in the middle of the road. But it's David Evans, rally editor of Autosport. He can stand where he likes. There we are, that's a lovely big truck. David, the man that we really have to talk about is Chris Meek. Last year's winner. Citroën were remarkably strong here last year. Meek won the event. Breen with his first ever podium on Rally Finland. It was a dream weekend for Citroën. My goodness me, how much would they pay for a dream weekend this time around? And is it possible? You got to fear for them.
You do, but everything is possible on this event. And I don't know, it's just so difficult for Chris. You come to this event and the one thing you need is confidence. You need confidence in the car, the team, yourself, your pace notes, everything. And he can't come here with confidence. After being benched in Poland, it's, you know, that is a vote of very little confidence when you take out your lead driver and leave him at home. So it is going to be incredibly difficult, but when Chris gets into it and he starts driving, you never know what can happen on these stages.
Well, you don't, and we won't know. We'll get a little bit more of an idea after shakedown today, but really we won't know whether or not that Citroën is capable of repeating the performance that it showed us last year, or the Citroën team showed us last year. Remember, it was a different car for Citroën last year. We won't really know that until the first stage Friday morning, when we see just how much confidence Meek can find from that car. He's fired up, though. I spoke to him last night. You spoke to him last night. He's fired up. Is it the right sort of fired up, though? For me, there was a lot of energy there. There was some positive energy. What worried me a little was there was a fair amount of negative energy there. Can he put that behind him?
This is the point. He's got to contain that energy. So many years we saw Jari-Matti come with so much energy. He could barely sit still. You know, there was a little bit of that with Meek last night, that he was angry, ready to get into it. And you've got to sit on the start line of that first stage and calmer, and then attack.
And then channel that energy. Yeah. Find your inner Onimpoya.
Yeah, that's it. You know, it is.
You found yours this morning, a few points in here.
I did.
And you found the handbrake.
we did. But it is that point. It's as Marco Ellen always said, it's the maximum attack, but it's just back from absolutely everything. And Chris feels, I would imagine, within himself that he's got a lot to prove. He's got nothing to prove. He comes here as last year's winner, and let's just hope that it works for him this year.
That's a big call, David Evans, rally editor at Autosport and Motorsport News and all those other things. He's got nothing to prove. That's a very, very big call for me. I think he does have a lot to prove this weekend. Not necessarily in terms of performance, maybe more so in terms of discipline.
Okay, he has to get the car to the finish. He has to. But let's take that one step back. On every event that Chris has competed, he's been in the top 3 this year. You know, he has got nothing to prove in terms of pace for me. Nothing. What he does have to prove is that he can go quickly and he can get the car to the finish.
And he can be a team player.
He can be a team player. Does he need to be a team player? For me, I don't know. You know, you look at some of the greats. How good a team player was Colin McRae?
I think there's a conflict here. Not between you and me. Not between you and me, because there never is. I think there's a bit of conflict between what Meek wants potentially and what the team want potentially. Meek wants to win this one. The team want him to bring the car home. For me, those are two very different starting points.
It is, because everything's changed since Poland for Citroën. They've started to focus on next year, so now they're looking at gathering data. Every event from here on in is a test event towards next year. Chris isn't interested in that. Chris has come here to win. And for me, you know, just crack on. Get on and win the event.
Talking about cracking on, 1, 2, 3, David Evans. Give me, looking at the conditions out here, which, by the way, are not bad. They've had a lot of rain here. It's been an unusual summer here in Finland. Cool, cold even at times, a lot of rain, but the surface is still pretty good. We're expecting rain over the course of the weekend. That may well influence the performance in terms of road order. But give me, with all of those factors, the road surface, the new car, confidence, no confidence, over-enthusiasm, give me your 1, 2, 3, David Evans.
Latvala, Ogier, Meek.
Oh, I'll tell you what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Ogier, Tanak. I'm going to put a 1, 2 for M Sport. What a result that would be.
Ogier, when they've loaned us the car, we really should.
Absolutely. 1, 2 for M Sport for me. Ogier, Tanak. Ooh, I'm going to go with a Kiwi boy.
Pardon?
Ogier, Tanak, Padden, my 1, 2, 3. Listen, follow all the updates on Autosport Live this weekend. It all kicks off this evening, Thursday evening, with a super special around Harrio. Is that Pretty good.
That sounded good to me.
Harrio, which is in the centre of Uvascular. The real action gets underway on Friday morning. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All the action. Follow it live on the Autosport. What do we call it? Autosport Live?
Race Centre Live.
Race Centre Live on
For this weekend, it could be Rally Centre Live.
Could be Rally Centre Live, because let's face it, this is the centre of the motorsport world this weekend. All this weekend, Rally Finland. Race Centre Live on autosports.com.